everyone to another new session of Educatus, and today we'll be discussing about weaning. Now, what is weaning? Weaning means to get rid of something. So, what are we getting rid of here? Basically, weaning term is now used as the term complementary feeding because we or I have been talking about in my previous videos about the exclusive breastfeeding. What the importance of exclusive breastfeeding till 6 months of age. So what is after that? How should we feed our child after that? So that is where weaning comes, and that is the importance where weaning is there. Okay, so complementary feeding, the term complementary feeding is used here where we are trying to complement the child's diet along with breast milk, some other food to be given so that the diet can be complete, the diet can be fulfilled. Welcome to Educatus. You all know that myself is Manjushta Chatterjee. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I know we are getting a bit slow with the videos, but you will be getting videos now. So, if we discuss the definition given by UNICEF, we can say that it is the systematic introduction of suitable food at the right time in addition to mother's milk in order to provide needed nutrients to the baby. So that means we were talking about exclusive breastfeeding till 6 months of age, exclusive breastfeeding till 6 months of age. So what is after that? What are we going to feed? We'll stop breastfeeding after 6 months? No, we'll not stop feeding breast milk after 6 months of age. But what we will do after 6 months of age? To meet the baby's increasing demand, we will introduce the systematic introduction of suitable food during this time, the right time, in addition to mother's milk. We'll definitely continue with the mother's milk, but we'll also introduce the food that we eat with which the child will be accustomed to the regular diet of the family. So the regular family diet, the child needs to be get accustomed, and how they will get accustomed? Through the process of weaning, which is a systematic introduction. Now, why we call it as a systematic introduction? Because we will not give like a platter to the child. As we see in Annaprashan, we always serve a platter, but it is not like that the child will have every food. We'll start with each and every food group, we'll introduce one and other food group one by one to the child, so that there is a systematic introduction of different food matter, different food particles, of which the child will be accustomed later to the child. And dhire dhire, gradually, we will wean off the child to the regular daily diet that we take. Now, there is a concept of willing dilemma. Now, what is this willing dilemma? Willing dilemma will come into later, but before that we'll just learn meaning of the weaning. As I was discussing in my first slide, that to free from a habit. Weaning means to free from a habit. Now, what are we weaning off the child from? We are weaning off the child from the bottle habit. We are trying to weaning off the child from the breast milk, because progressively the child has to eat the family diet. The child has to be accustomed to the socio-cultural diet that is the family taking. So weaning is the process where the family will be free from the habit of only taking the mother's milk, and along with that bottle feeding, and to the daily diet that the family takes, so that they can get accustomed to the tradition, to the culture of the family. So I was talking about the weaning dilemma. Now, what is this weaning dilemma? Some people can't understand or don't understand the right age to start weaning. So this is known as weaning dilemma, like when to start a proper weaning. Some mothers think that my child is not feeding very well, so should they need something else other than breast milk? So what is the right age? We always say that exclusive breastfeeding till 6 months of age, but sometimes what happen, the child need some child they don't grow, or sometimes the child have some problem in growing. The problems I will be discussing in the next slide. So in that case you need to start of weaning a little early. So we can say that 4 to 6 months we can start introducing the solid food, like there is nothing to get confused. So that is the age. Until then, exclusive breastfeeding is very much required. So this picture that we can see over here is of Annoprashan. So Bengali culture, Bengali tradition, and few other tradition, we have the first rice to be given to the mouth. Why this Annoprashan? Annoprashan, that means introduction of rice, because 6 months of age or 7 months in some cases, in girls and boys there's a difference, so the weaning starts during that time. Now coming, what are the different circumstances where weaning should be started early, which I was discussing, where the babies have growth faltering. Sometimes it is seen that despite taking exclusive breastfeeding, the child is having growth faltering. In this case, weaning can be started a little early, where we can see that the maternal lactation has decreased due to certain reason. So there we can start weaning early, and where we need the child to catch up a growth. That means a low birth weight child, the child needs to catch up a growth. There the child needs to be weaned early. Now, which food should be used during weaning? This is very, very important. Like we always, as I've given an example, I've given it intentionally. Like butter bean mash, pea and spinach though is available, but I don't know what is this parsnip. I have to check what is this parsnip. So ma'am has given parsnip, so we'll search for parsnip because it is good. It is nothing like that. So something which is very much local, which is easily available, which is traditional, you have to go for that in case of weaning food, when you are choosing a food for the child. And method of preparation should be simple. It is not a biryani to be given to the child. It is definitely a treat to the child, but definitely it has to be simple. It has to be made with easily available food, and also the time taken, the time taken that you should consider while preparing the food should be very less. Cost of the food has to be kept in mind, that what kind of cost you are requiring to prepare the food. The socio-economic culture, as I was saying, that has to be prepared. It should be traditionally and culturally acceptable. That is very, very important. And taste and palatability has to be considered. Foremost, very important, it should be clean and safe. It has to be clean and safe because you are giving it to the child. So now over here I've given you some examples of the weaning food. So this type of purees can be given, vegetables and fruit purees can be given, and even soft finger foods like this can be given. Now why these finger foods are given, or why the spoon is given? When we are actually having activities with the spoon, with the fingers, what happens? They actually improve the motor developments of the child. The neural developments also improve. So what happens over here, you can see that 4 to 6 months the consistency of the food is like this, less granular, more pureed. But as we are moving on to 1 to 2 years, that means we are trying to wean off the bottle feeding and all, and proper diet the child will have, then we will be introducing chunks, we will be introducing small cubes, we will be introducing small cuts. Why? Because it will be helping the child to develop the teeth as well, because the child will be teething and the child needs something to teeth during that time. Coming next, the stages of baby food, which I was showing in a different way, like small ingredients, single ingredients, pureed vegetables, pureed fruit can be introduced. 4 to 6 months, strained food combinations can be started. 7 to 8 months, small chunks can be introduced. 9 to 12 months, and proper table foods can be given over 12 months. Okay, but over 12 months you will not give a complete leg piece to a child. Definitely you will give chunks of leg piece to the child, or chunks of chicken to the child. So this is the textures, generally how we give the boiled vegetables without salt, because the sweetness, the natural sweetness, the natural saltness of the food will be available to the child. So pureed, the terms that we generally use for the weaning food: pureed, lumpy, mashed, ground, soft cooked, and minced. This kind of textures, this kind of quantity, not quantity, we can say that this kind of textures we can say, and this kind of shapes you can say, it can be given to the child for the eating purpose. Acha. Next is the Indian diet. What we can include in the Indian diet: simple dal or rice cereal can be introduced. Pureed vegetables like carrots, pumpkin is very good. Sweet potatoes are very good. That can be included. Fruits like banana, apple, cauliflower, vegetables like cauliflower, carrots can be introduced. Eggs, for 6 to 8 months, I will prefer eggs which are the yolk portion is better to give. Khichdi can be given. A combination of rice and dal is very good for the child. Along with that, meat puree. Generally, what we give is the liver portion. That portion is boiled and it is pureed and given. And a porridge, thickness porridge can be given to the child. Semi-solid food with texture can be given 8 to 12 months, like fruits, vegetable chunks, chicken, yogurt, juices, paneer can be given. And food that require more chewing, because to improve the chewing capacity of the child in 10 to 12 months, can be given, like scrambled egg, a complete scrambled egg, soup, sambar, dosa, normal chapati with dal, chapati with milk. These can be given to the child. So this is the example of Indian diet plan, like suji kheer, pureed mango, homemade cerelac, stewed pear. Like stewed things are, I prefer giving them in normal, like the normal pear, cut pieces of pear, cut pieces of apple. Stewed pear can be given like in 6 months it can be given, but for a later months you can definitely give a normal chunks where they can just chew it. Okay, khichdi, pureed peas, mixed vegetable soups, carrots, these can be given, and these are the different consistency. So definitely there are three lines of, we can say that, weaning foods are there. The appropriate weaning, that is the first line. The acceptable weaning, that is the second line. And the avoidable weaning, that is the third line. So what are the appropriate foods for the weaning purpose? Like the combinations of cereals and pulses, mashed bananas, mashed fruits, like that. Milk added to anything, like milk added to rice, milk added to roti, that can be given. Acceptable ones are the bread, biscuits, cheese. These are acceptable. These can be given in smaller amounts. Calorie dense fruits, these are given in small amounts. And what is to be avoided completely during weaning? These are the fast food, the low calorie juices which is available in the market. You should not give that to the child. The soups which are available in the market, and commercially prepared artificial food, which are like the cold stored food, cold cuts and all, these should not be given to the child. So freshly cooked foods which are like properly held in a healthy manner, it is prepared at home in clean and washed utensils, that should be given to the weaning child. You must always take care, you must always check whether the child is actually active or not, whether the child is getting encouraged by the social activities or not, where the child is getting interest in the food or not, that has to be taken care or not. And you also have to another way of weaning, like with one food at a time, is that whether the child is allergic to any particular food or not, that we also need to be checked. Forceful eating is a complete no. We must sometimes think that the child must not might is not getting the proper nutrient, but child, when the child will be hungry, the child will be definitely taking his own food. So forceful eating is a big no. The meal time should be proper. When we are starting with the weaning, generally the bigger meals like the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner, that can be changed into a supplementary food, complementary food, and along with that breast milk can be given, and gradually that meal time should be increased and breast milk should be decreased. This is how we can actually plan for a weaning diet. So I hope the video was of use and you have understood the different topics on weaning. That's all for today. With this, we complete the chapter of infancy and will come with a fresh new discussion topic, that is the types of diet. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.